Hey there, Psychonauts. So I'm having a little trouble starting today's video. So I'll just put that out there so we can be a little bit more casual in this interaction. And today I wanted to talk to you about something that I've never really brought up on this channel before, and that is the connection between psychedelics and neurodivergence. Specifically, in my experience, autism. So, okay. There. I am autistic, actually. If you didn't know, which maybe you didn't, because it's kind of hard to tell through this kind of, I'm really good at monologuing it up. It really fits my skill set. No, but it's true, and I think some of you probably would have suspected that. I'm sure some of you would have already suspected that. If you know me well enough, you would probably know. But I knew I was autistic before I ever started doing psychedelics, and there's a lot of things I can say, but let's just start at the beginning. One of the first things that I went down the rabbit hole of after my first psychedelic experience is I started researching LSD and autism. And that is how I actually found the channel Psych Substance. This was, I don't even know how many years ago, 2016, I think. Like 8 years ago, I first found, that's why we're here right now. It's all connected. That's why I'm here. That's why this is happening. But yeah, psychedelics have always, I think for anybody, psychedelics allow you to understand yourself better. And being someone who is neurodivergent, it makes it very obvious that that is the case during psychedelic experiences. Like, in particular, I can typically, it's like I can, pinpoint the spot in which I have the divergent patterns. Like, I can pinpoint where exactly I neurally diverge, if that makes any sense at all. I don't know, maybe I shouldn't share this video. I've always wondered if I should ever address the fact that I'm autistic, because, maybe it's not necessary to address it. Maybe we don't have to attach ourselves to the label of that, and I don't really, but it is a useful, if you understand what autism is, and then you know that I have autism, it can be helpful in understanding me. And I really just want to be understood. There's this quote from 1984 that I always really liked. And it's something about, perhaps one does not wish to be loved so much as understood. And I feel like that's been me my whole life, especially as someone who is autistic. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like the psychedelic experience has, I think I found this to be true with a lot of other people, that it has helped me in terms of not necessarily becoming less autistic. In some ways, it's made me become more autistic. But in allowing me to see, understand the non-autistic perspective much better, and I think I am able to. It also just, I think it took until psychedelics for me to fully grasp the kind of social game that is constantly being played. I don't know, I've never been a good social game player. That sort of comes with the territory of autism, at least growing up. I've sort of intellectualized my way into figuring it out by now, but it was never intuitive to me. Yeah, I grew up as the quietest kid in my class pretty much all the time. If I wasn't the quietest, I was the very least the quietest girl. So, some other autistic boy might have had me beat sometimes. But yeah, I mean, I always felt like an outsider my whole life because of this, because of how much of a struggle socialization was to me. That was the main struggle of, growing up in school. Academically, I always did really well, and school was never really particularly challenging for me academically, but it was very challenging for me socially throughout my entire life, until I guess college, because then it didn't seem to matter that much. I just kind of came to class and left. I don't know. I don't know. I wonder if some of you can relate. I know some of you out there can relate. I am a bit worried about the change in perception. Like, is this going to change your perception of me? Like, it's been true the entire time, but now that I'm talking about it, is it going to change your perception of me? Probably not. I suspect most of you, I suspect a lot of you probably, this makes sense. This is probably not coming as a surprise to a lot of you. Yeah, but pretty much every time I have a psychedelic experience, I realize that once again. I'm like, oh yeah, like I'm autistic. Actually, I had this interesting thought during some of my last trips. I don't know what I'm supposed to say. I think autism is like, it's like an evolution. Not necessarily, I'm not trying to say that it's like, I don't know. It's interesting. It's definitely like, I was thinking about something. I was sure. I think I said it out loud. I said, did you know that autism is evolution? I don't know. What autism really is, I'm very hyper perceptive. I'm very hyper sensitive to differences in perception, which can help with intelligence. I'm better at pattern recognition, and I have a degree in mathematics. Like, I think that's pretty related to the autism. I've always been really good at math and numbers and just patterns in general. It's like this hyper perception, which can sometimes, when taken to the extreme, can be very detrimental. I did have a lot of sensory issues when I was younger. In particular, I remember I hated my clothes being wet. Like, if my sleeve had gotten wet in the sink or something washing my hands, it would ruin my entire day. I remember that, like, the internal feeling of my entire day being ruined because my sleeve was wet. I remember there'd be field days at school and there'd be a water balloon toss, and I'd have anxiety the whole day about the water balloon toss because I didn't want to get my clothing wet because it was going to bother me so much. It was really a silent struggle for a lot of my life, actually. Because autism wasn't as much diagnosed when I was younger. It was, but not as much as it is now, and especially not in a girl who has no behavioral problems, who's doing academically well. Nobody really thought about it. I wasn't causing any problems. I mean, I was actually like extra well behaved as a child. Like, I was incredibly obedient and well behaved in school. Yeah, but this is obviously something that's affected me my whole life, and it's obviously an aspect that is involved in the psychedelic experiences that I have. As someone with autism, the psychedelics probably aren't for everybody. Well, they aren't for everybody, but I could see how some people, some autistic people might not like psychedelic experiences. Like, maybe you would think that, the sort of like sensory overload that can kind of come with psychedelic experiences would be maybe a turnoff for autistic. I don't know. I have always resonated with the psychedelic experience, and in part, I've always felt that, in a way, I feel like the psychedelic experience allows me to better balance my autism. Like, I'm always autistic, but I don't know, there is like, do you know the theory, the like autism theory of like autism and schizophrenia being on two different ends of the same spectrum? Well, sometimes there's the idea that they're like on two ends of a horseshoe. We'll get to that. Anyway, but psychedelics tend to push you a little bit more towards that schizophrenic side of the spectrum. And so for someone, you know, like me, who's already autistic, I think my autism actually grounds me in a way. I think, you know, a lot of people worry about me of like going into these really far out states. But my autism really does bring me back. Like, I don't know how to explain that, but the psychedelics balance out my autism. And I don't know. I honestly think that they could actually have like a medical or I don't know if medical is the word. Psychiatric, medical, therapeutic at least purpose in this respect. I think, you know, this video is a whole mess, but maybe that gives you a better look into like what I am. It takes a lot of energy for me to like just like I don't know. Life is really weird. It's weird enough as it is. We bring psychedelics into the mix, we bring autism into the mix, all these other things. No, but I do struggle to connect and communicate sometimes. I feel psychedelics do help with that. Psychedelics make me want to connect even more. Psychedelics allow me to take some of those chances in making connections with people that I maybe wouldn't have otherwise. Yeah, what do you guys think? I'm sure some of you out there are autistic. I know some of you out there are. I know that. But even if you're not, you can probably understand me. There's like other things. There's like ADHD. I feel like I wouldn't classify myself as that. I'm not going to diagnose myself with that. Even though I do share some characteristics with that as well. I won't bring that into the equation. I won't. Yeah, so I think psychedelics in some ways have made me more neurodivergent, but they've also made me just like, I just understand more. They've made me this, like, I've felt so frustrated in these past few days. And I just like, I can't even make a video. I actually was trying to make a video the other day and I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. You know, the problem is things are supposed to be, this video was supposed to have a topic and it's supposed to have a title and it's all supposed to tie together, and I'm not supposed to do this. I'm not supposed to just like go off the rails like this. But like, why not? Well, there's a lot of good reasons why not. I really just want to connect with people, honestly. Have you guys ever listened to The Wall, the Pink Floyd album? It's one of my favorite albums and I relate to it so much. The Wall, you know. You know, I build a wall. Whether I like it or not, I just build a wall between me and everything else. Between me and any like genuine connection. I have to build the wall because of like everything else that's happened to me my entire life. it gets me to like this point where like mentally that's just like what happens. And like I have to like actively tear it down myself, like day after day. It just like there's like, it's only human to be caught by conflicting nature. There's all these conflicting natures within you, and part of me wants to build that wall up as high as I can, and the other part of me just wants to tear it down. And I don't know what I'm doing, and I get in these videos and I'm like in this state where I just like, I don't know. Am I trying to build the wall higher, or am I trying to actually break it down? And I don't know what I'm doing. And maybe I shouldn't show you this, you know? It's a bit risky to show you something so real and emotional, and but that's it. That's that tearing down of the wall that I'm so desperate for. Just like a glimpse of like making YouTube videos is quite the trip. For those of you who don't make YouTube videos, you probably couldn't even imagine how much of a trip it is until you did it yourself. It's very easy to criticize things that you really don't have a first-hand understanding of. Yeah. Okay. See. I really just want to talk to you. I just want to talk to you. I don't know. This video is useless. It's useless. Like, who is going to watch this? What purpose does this serve? Besides making some proportion of you think that I've completely lost my mind. But the thing is, you know, my mind has always been like this. I've always kind of been like this. I just kind of, there's some days where it's easier to like, there's some days it's easier to like stay within the boundaries that I've sort of like pre-laid out. And then there's days like today, I just feel something and I don't know what it is. And I just feel like I have to express something, but I don't even know what that is either. I really just want to be here. I really want to be here. I just want to be here. Okay. Maybe I can wrap something up and come up with a conclusion for all of you. I'm okay. And if I'm not okay, I know how to be okay. No, but you know, I've been managing my head for a long time, and are you guys really fascinated with your own internal worlds? How much of a role does your internal world play in your life? I do wonder the numbers on that. Like, are people with more complex internal worlds more drawn to psychedelic experiences? I don't know. What? I don't know. I think I will manage to put myself back together. I think I just needed to express something. Maybe I did express it. I needed to show you something of the reality. Like, I think that it's part of it, like, part of it, like, maybe I'm just like feeling something in my life, or I'm dealing with something, and then I try to make a video and I just feel like I'm pretending. I feel like I'm just ignoring the reality, and I just want to like present the reality as it is. Because in a world in which you can, I don't know, like I could create whatever image I want of myself, you know, I can I just wanted to show you what it really looks like. Just once. I don't know. This is okay. Okay. I think next time I'll be able to come back and actually talk to you about something, because I had a lot of things that I wanted to talk about. I just have to show you this. I think I just have to show you this. It's gonna scare me to show you this because, you know, I worry what some people might think. You know, what are the implications of showing you this? What does that mean if I actively, like, watch back this video and then I say, yep, let's show you? I don't know, I just want some truth. Just give me some truth, please, okay? I just want to show you what it is. I have to go. Bye.